My friend received a phone call, and the phone call kind of went something like this. Hey, we know what you did. We understand how you did it. We're going to give you 24 hours to fix the problem. All right, folks, I got a request from my man Jamerson to shoot a video about why and when is it okay to quit. Yes, folks, there are some times in life when it's time to pull the cutaway and get you a new parachute over your head and evacuate the area you're in. So I'm going to tell you 3 stories. All of them are true. All of them are kind of crazy, but it is what it is. We're talking about when is it okay to quit. So the first story happened about 20 years ago. A good friend of mine went home at Christmas and he got his girlfriend pregnant. Not a big deal. Unless, of course, your girlfriend's dad is the head of the mob. Okay? Comes back, nothing to worry about. Well, my guy was dealing straight 8s and got another girl pregnant at the same time. This other girl knew who his girlfriend was and proceeded to show up on said girlfriend's door and tell her dad that she was also carrying my friend's baby. I don't know how much you know about the mob, but if you disrespect the family, the problems are gonna come. My friend received a phone call, and the phone call kind of went something like this. Hey, we know what you did. We understand how you did it. We're gonna give you 24 hours to fix the problem. You can take care of yourself, or we will take care of your whole family. Now, I want you to think about that for a minute. 1, how valid a threat is it? I'm going to argue that, it's probably 100% valid. Like, there's no way that you're going to get out of this by talking about it. There's no way you're going to do something about it. Like, you've disrespected the head mob guy's daughter, his family. You fixing to have some problems. Okay? Now, how I would have handled it probably would have been a little bit different. I probably would have went scorched earth. I would have probably tried to handle the problem myself and get to them before they got to me. But you run the risk of everything collapsing and them still getting rid of your family. So my good friend decided that he would do the noble thing. He decided to do what he had to do to make sure that his family could go on and live a happy and healthy life. I'm going to let you interpret what happened, but needless to say, I can't call him anymore. Okay? Now, you guys are probably saying in American culture, holy crap, that's crazy. But understand this, there's a lot of cultures out there like Japan, where sometimes you're the problem and you got to remove yourself from the situation. So that's the first time. First time and last time that I'm ever going to say it's okay to do that. That was a situation that I felt like, man, you're in a rock and a hard place. I don't think I would have handled that situation. Thank God I've never been put in that situation. But when you're looking at you or your whole family, you may have to take your whole family and put them ahead of yourself, which is what my guy did. All right. So, bad one. We starting off with bad ones. All right. The next one just happened. Not 2 months ago, I got a call from a young individual who was in SEAL training. First generation American citizen, was killing the initial parts of SEAL training. So he was in ramp up. He had not classed up yet. You guys know I'm vehemently opposed to going to SEAL training if you have a family. Vehemently opposed to joining special forces if you have a family. I have 3 sons. I feel like my whole purpose in life is to raise my 3 sons. It is not for me to go and achieve, although I still achieve, but my goal, my 3 kids always comes first. That's my number 1 priority in life. So said individuals in SEAL training, I had a number of conversations with him before. I've known him for probably a good 3 years. And everybody thinks they're special or they're different. And so he's at Bud's, he's going. So the next story just happened. Had a young man that I've known for a good 3 years, first generation American, in SEAL training, has a wife, has a 2-year-old daughter, and he has another baby on the way in January. And so I had a number of conversations. You guys know I'm vehemently opposed to going into Special Forces if you have a family already. That family is going to go away. It's just the facts of life. So he called me. He said, Jake, I think I have to quit. I said, okay, what's going on? He said, man, he said, I can't figure out a solution for this baby that's going to be born in January. I said, all right, what about her family? Her family doesn't have any money. Okay, what about your family? My family doesn't have any money. We're first generation, Jake. Everybody's fighting to survive in America. I said, okay. He said, I think I got to quit. I said, all right. Are you quitting because it's hard? Are you quitting because you know as a father and a provider for your family that that's the right thing to do? He goes, Jake, I have crushed everything here. He said, but if I go into SEAL training and I have to quit in January when this baby's born because my wife has no support, I'm going to feel terrible that I took this 7 months away from my wife when she was pregnant. I said, hey, man, that sounds like a good plan to me. So he ended up quitting on Monday. I told him, hey, man, you need anything, let me know. You can be really successful in life. But understand this, man, like there's going to be times in life when you have to sacrifice what you want for the good of your family, man. I sacrificed in 2020. My wife said, hey, let's get out of coaching. I had 3 young kids. I had a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 5-year-old. It was the best decision of my life to walk away from my dream and my goals and my aspirations to become a college football head coach to raise my 3 kids. Here we are 5 years later. I got 3 rock star young men, and they are well on their way to being great. It wouldn't have happened if I was still coaching. I was gone out of the house. My normal work day in football looked like go to work at 5 a.m., come home at midnight. That's a normal work day in Division I college football. Who would be raising my kids? It wouldn't be me. Okay? So 1, your family's involved. You have to make a decision for the best of your family. That's a good reason to quit something. The last one. I'm going to say this. It's just not for you. Sean Ryan got a great clip.
We were getting in our vehicles, getting ready to go into Iraq, to drive across the border into Iraq, loaded down to the gills to go ambush the ambushers, so to speak, in Nasiriyah. And he stood there and said, I can't do it. Holy shit. He's like, I got a wife. I want to have kids. I'm sorry. I can't do this. And we were all like, you motherfucker. He was a 60 gunner for us too. He tried to, hey guys, welcome back. He was still at the team for like 2 weeks maybe while he was out processing and whatever. And nobody would even look at him.
Guys quit. Navy SEALs quit. People quit. Okay? The life just ain't for you. It's a lot better for you to quit early than it is for you to try to figure it out later and not get it. I can't tell you the number of people in buds that show up that just say it's not for me. I know you all think you're savages, and I know everybody thinks they can just run down the street and do Green Beret Ranger shit and be Rambo. It's not called a duty, folks. There's a lot of consequences to your actions in this game. So you figuring out it just ain't for you. Where does this apply, man? It applies to everything. I went into consulting for 18 months. It was the worst job I've ever had in my life. Sit at a desk, do PowerPoints and Excel spreadsheets day after day. It sucked. It's the worst thing I could have done. Me working corporate America, terrible. Okay, I've turned down a number of great jobs in the last couple of months. I'm not taking a job in corporate America where I got to go play politics and work with other people. Just not doing it, right? Now, if I'm in charge, it's a different situation. But you got to know where you're best served, okay? Now, the last thing I'm going to say about quitting. If you're quitting something that's easy, like I'm at the bar drinking until 2 a.m, you want to go home at 1, I don't even call that quitting. I call that making a very sound decision. So hopefully this sheds a little bit of light on where and why you're allowed to quit. Other than that, I tell everybody, man, we can't ever quit when it's hard. We can't ever quit when it's getting grimy and downright disgusting. You got to push through, because quitting becomes a habit. And the first time you quit, it's hard. The second time, it's a little bit easier. The third time, it becomes a habit. And once you get into that habit of quitting hard stuff or stuff that's changing you, you're headed down that slope to terribleness, to badness. You guys know what we do on this channel, man. We build champions for life. I don't encourage anybody to quit, but there are certain times in life when it's best to exit stage left.